All right, everybody, it's time for another bicycle showcase. Today, we're going to be talking about the Trek Top Fuel. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another exciting episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined once again by my co-host Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how the hell are you?
I'm finally waking up.
Nice, glad to see that. Now Brandon's saying he's finally waking up, depending on when you actually see this video. This is the third one we've shot so far for this morning because, as you know, we have to do multiple videos whenever we get together. And we're excited to do another essentially episode of Bike Showcase. And just so you guys, we haven't changed. We're still in Trek Bicycle Store, West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona.
Still here.
Yep, where the cool kids hang out, and me. And yeah, it's great to be back. So Brandon, Top Fuel, this is a sexy bike.
This is a beautiful bike.
Yeah.
And we pulled this thing out of the box the other day, like, ooh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Those skin wool tires, kind of a throwback, along with this,
Right.
I don't know if the camera's picking up as well, but it's this really dark metallic blue accented with the silver highlights. It's a really pretty bike.
It is.
And everybody in the shop, it was consensus, everybody really thought they did a nice job with the design.
I love, this is, I don't know how well it's going to translate on camera, but this is almost, it's like a deep navy blue.
Yeah.
And when it hits the light, it gives a really nice highlight
sparkle.
to it. Yeah, absolutely. So now, last one we talked a little bit about the Excalibur, and that was an entry-level bike. How would you characterize this one for the Top Fuel line? And let's talk about that Top Fuel line and where it fits into the larger picture.
Very good. So this is our top of the line aluminum framed Top Fuel. This is Top Fuel 8.
Okay.
Anything after this is going to be a carbon fiber frame. Part spec is going to start off at the same part spec, but then we move up to carbon fiber, and that's where that extra money is going to be going to on the ones after this.
Okay.
But one thing that, since we're talking about between the carbon fiber and the aluminum, we are going to save a little bit of weight, but they're starting to integrate some of those parts that were only on carbon fiber frames before.
Right.
Namely the storage box that we have in here. This was only reserved for carbon fiber last year.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Now we get some storage space inside the frame where we can have a roll up. Inner tube, well, I don't think a big 2.9 tube will fit in here, but at least we can put CO2s, some snacks, things like that inside the frame. And now we can get this on an aluminum frame. Super cool.
I've only seen those on the Dumani.
Yeah. Yep.
So
it's going on more bikes these days.
Very, very cool.
Very cool. A little bit more on the tech side of this one. So the Top Fuel's always been more of a cross-country racing dual suspension bike.
Okay.
They've kind of handed that job to the Super Caliber now.
Okay.
So this bike is becoming a little more of a endurance racing bike.
An enduro bike.
Travel has been going up and up more and more every year.
How much travel do we see on these?
120 millimeters in the front and 115 in the back. So it's getting more and more every year, but they still have managed to make this through the geometry and the design a very pedalable bike. It's so very efficient. I'm extremely impressed every time we got to go up any decent climbs or even the short kickers.
Right.
It gets over those things beautifully, super easy.
Now, you and I have touched on this conversation a couple times, but again, so people at home know, because Trek has so many different lines. You have the Top Fuel, then you have the Fuel, you have the Slash. Where do those bikes fit in? You're saying this is kind of a cross-country enduro bike. Where does the Fuel line and the Slash fit in to Trek's mountain biking paradigm?
So as far as travel and the capability is concerned, I would say the Fuel is the next one as far as more travel.
Okay.
Don't quote me on the specs, but I think it's
I
think it's 140 in the front now.
Okay.
And I think 140 in the front and maybe 150 in the back now.
Okay.
I'm not positive on that, but definitely more travel. Still very efficient, not as efficient as this guy.
Right.
But what I've always said about the Fuel is that it does everything very, very well. You can race that bike. You can take that bike to snow summits, have a great time. It's, you can't hit as hard on it, but it does everything exceptionally well. This bike is more geared to that person who wants a little more efficiency, probably wants to race an endurance series, those longer rides, or team endurance races.
Okay.
That's what this bike is really good for. After that, we get Remedy, and then we get Slash. And
Remedy is the next one, okay.
Being the most still practical pedalable bike with the highest amount of travel. After that, we get the Session, which is I don't even know if you can pedal a Session around. That's a huge bike.
So now the Slash has more travel than the Fuel.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you said, and I forgot about the Remedy series. So as we're looking at the Remedy series and the Slash, what are those two types of bikes more geared towards?
The Remedy, I like to sell it to that guy who probably likes to get that bike off the ground a little more.
Okay.
It's a 27.5 wheel, so it's a more playful wheel.
Okay.
It's a better wheel for jumping. But once again, get off the ground. It's a faster handling wheel platform as well, with higher travel. So it's for that guy that's pretty good at going downhill and is pretty aggressive.
Okay.
Aggressive rider going.
And then your Slash, where does that
Slash
fit in?
even more so. That's a guy who really likes to go to Snow Summit, take that ski lift up and just bomb it down.
Gotcha. Not necessarily someone like me who's an all-around rider who will pedal, 10, 12, 15 miles over some gnarly stuff, but that's going up to get to that downhill.
I feel like if you like that cross-country aspect, personally, I don't think the Slash is the right bike for that. It gets more efficient every year. It's still very good. There's still plenty of customers that will use that Slash as a cross-country bike. But for me, not so much.
Not so much. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's keep talking about the Top Fuel. So and I just wanted people to know as far as the differences, because when I first 5 years come in, I was just like, what's the differences between all these different series of mountain bikes and stuff? So
I say these days, like, bikes are like cooking knives. There's a knife for every every job in cooking, just like bikes now.
Yep.
When a customer comes in, I need to know exactly what his intentions are with the bike, where he rides, how often he rides, and then I can get him the right knife for the job.
Really tail it out.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. But we talked about the travels already on this one.
Right.
This one gives you a XT drivetrain, a 1x12 drivetrain, just like the Excalibur. This is a 10x51.
Okay. Now this bailout gear looks a little bit larger than on the Excalibur, so this looks like a 52.
I think it's still a 51.
It's still a 51?
I'm not positive, though. But you get that 1x12 super efficient XT. They skimped a little bit on the crank, but I love, like we talked about last time, I love these SLX cranks. I think they're elegant. I think they're perfect, especially for Arizona, where you're going to hit those things on rocks all the time anyways.
Right.
When I smash my XT against the rocks, a little piece of me dies every time. SLX, maybe not so much, and it's still elegant. It's still a nice piece of...
This is where Brandon and I differ, because I just beat the shit out of my bikes relentlessly. I don't abuse them, but I do ride them. So, and that stuff... Hey, if it takes a beating, that's what I paid for. So
absolutely.
So what about the shifter? So I mean, XT all the way on the drivetrain. Excellent.
XT shifter, derailleur, cassette, chain. They scrimp a little bit once again on the cassette and a little bit on the brakes.
Okay.
They're not a bad brake.
Full hydraulic or mechanical
SLX,
hydraulic?
This is fully
hydraulic. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So now, this being an aluminum bike versus carbon bike, what's this weigh in at? When I, lifted it up off the stand and bring it back here, it felt like it was right around 21, 22 pounds.
It's a little more than that. This one's going to be closer to 27 pounds.
Okay, that's just because I'm so strong.
If you get into the carbon, we're going to get down, our highest end carbon is going to be just around 25 pounds.
And right. Now, obviously, you could change out the rims, carbon rims. There's some things you can do to friggin' drop the weight and everything like that on that.
Upgradable bike.
Now, the Fuel that I did own at one point was an aluminum frame. Never had an issue with it. And I'd bring it in here for maintenance all the time. You saw the pounding that thing took. So don't let anybody try to tell you that one frame is superior to the other. I don't believe that. Some people say you'll get a softer ride on carbon than you do aluminum. For the way I ride, I wouldn't notice. So for me, I'd rather put the extra money into group or a more comfortable seat or something along those lines that has practical purpose to me, as opposed to, hey, it's a carbon frame and look at my dick syndrome. That's just not how I roll. So, so now we got an air shock up front.
Yep. At this point, we're getting air front and back.
Okay.
This is what I consider one of our higher end bikes.
Okay.
So it's absolutely air tunable.
Lockout on the back?
We're going to get close. We have a kind of a pro pedal assist on there, so it will firm it up. You're not going to get a full lockout, but it will definitely stiffen up the ride.
Stiffen up the ride, okay.
Pretty well.
So for those people who are going on more of a cross-country ride, maybe a wooded area or a fairly manicured path, if you want a little bit more efficiency on your pedal, you can go ahead and stiffen that rear suspension up.
I think. Personally, I think that those are reserved for those spots in your race where you have For example, the Whiskey 50
Okay.
has probably like a 6 or 8 mile road section. That's where you lock that thing out. Otherwise, a bike is so efficient, you can keep it open.
Yeah. I've never locked my,
I've
never, on my rail, on the fuel, I just kept on pedaling, because you're right. You don't really notice that sag.
Right. It's so well done. I don't ever see a reason to use that position in the dirt, when you're in the dirt.
Okay.
I feel like it's a race function. But some nice upgrades that come with this one as well. Now we're getting 35 millimeter cockpit on here.
Right.
35 millimeter bar, 35 millimeter stem on this guy. If you notice, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. This is a very short stem.
Yes,
I think it's a 30 mil. They brought this in so that we can get a little bit quicker handling on the bike. So the bike still feels real nice and lively, even though the wheelbase has spread out a little bit.
Right. And this is very similar to what I have on my rail, which I love it. I couldn't see myself going back to a more elongated head tube or stem. Dropper post. What are we talking now? Wyatt and I talked about, we did a video on properly sizing your dropper, and he said now that the dropper posts are actually coming in a 34 millimeter in the diameter. Was that a larger size diameter? There was like 31.5, and then there was one upsize from that.
Right. I think this is still a 31.8 on this one, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly didn't look too closely at that part, but the dropper post.
We don't always lift up the skirt to see.
Convenience.
Yeah. But we do have a good mechanical drop post on here, and this is going to be an air charge dropper post. So this one's going to last you for quite some time.
There's an air cartridge in there. We are cable up until we get to what's called the poppet valve, which releases or allows the air to flow into the cartridge.
Through axles?
Through axles, front and back. Now we got the nice strength and stiffness out of the through axles on this bike.
This is one of those ingenious things that I've noticed. That it's the little things with any company. I don't care if you're Trek or maybe Toyota, Sony, whatever. It's a little thing. So this pops in, and you can't see it on camera, but it would essentially go in, right there on this side for you to tighten, and it's magnetic.
It's magnetic,
And everybody might go, well, hey, Thomas, that thing's gonna pop out, and I can't even get it back in. There we go. That thing's gonna pop out on you when you're on the trail. I have never taken mine off, and I have never lost it. And one day we'll get some close-ups of the scars that Betty has on her.
Yeah.
Dude, I ride them, dude. Seriously. So this is great because now you can always have that quick access to make sure your through axle's tightened up.
And we should note that it is intended to be used on the front
as well.
And back.
Yeah.
That's why it has that feature.
Yep. No, it's a great little thing. So, and obviously, very differing from the Excalibur, no pedals on this one. It's high end. They assume you're going to have pedals, or you're going to purchase your preference at the time of purchase. You can always just throw some flats on here to get you by until you order those nice. What is that? The new Shimano, not the Angels. What do they call them? Oh, they're beautiful. They're clipless. They're SPDs. They just redesigned them. I'm trying to think of
new
the
Saints.
Saints, yeah. That's a sexy fucking pedal. That almost makes me want to go back to clipless for a mountain bike. I run the Crank Brothers mallets, the flats, just because they're nice, big, meaty. They take an extraordinary amount of abuse, for sure. And then, so you can pretty much go with whatever you're comfortable with on that. I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's just your preference on what you want to choose to use. So, yeah, Brandon, all around, this is a great bike. So, what does this bike come in?
Let's point out that those tan sidewalls again. Just that throwback is so nice.
Yeah, these aren't going to last out here in Arizona.
For Arizona.
Get yourself a set of Maxxis tires.
Some double or something for around here might be a little bit better, but this is it's a cool little. It's a nice looking bike for sure. I like that quite a bit. And of course, all tubeless ready to go out of the box. This one also doesn't even come with inner tubes inside there.
Right. You just got to put the Juju in there and you're good to go.
Don't even think about putting tubes in these guys.
Yep. Price point. What's someone looking at for one of these? What are we at? 3,800, 3,900?
Nice guess. $37.99.
Oh, man, I know my bikes. It's because I'm a bike nerd. But again, you're getting something that's extremely well equipped right out of the gate. And with just the little things, like I said, probably the first two things that will get replaced will be your grips and your seat, just to get what's comfortable for you. But man, ride this until something gives up the ghost, and then you can upgrade from there.
There's not much you have to upgrade on here.
No, this is a great solid bike. So,
and if you don't like the way it's equipped, then go the next step up. Well, here's the problem. for that person who really loves aluminum and doesn't want to go to carbon,
right?
They still may have preferences, and they want to get carbon bar, nicer stem, things like that for sure. But for most of us at that aluminum level,
this is going
for
to be a
that
great
price
bike.
point, you can ride this thing. There's really nothing you need to upgrade out of the box unless it's just purely just
aesthetics.
Aesthetics, yeah.
For the most part.
Thank you.
So, of course, we already know who has the proper vernacular out of the two of us. Remember, guys, he did lose that bet.
I have proof.
I have proof. I do have proof. All right, all kidding aside, this is a great bike, guys. So now, if you have any questions about this Top Fuel, you're more than welcome to follow the link that will be included down below. Give Brandon or one of the guys down here a phone call and ask your questions. Or if you're local, stop on by, check it out, take it for a little bit of test spin in the area that the
and if I
shop's
also may
located
make a
at.
shameless plug, we rent these, we demo these out of our demo store, Copper State Bike and Hike.
Ooh, that's
so
right.
You can try Top Fuel. It's not this exact model, but at least it gives you an idea of what the Top Fuel does and if that bike is right for you.
Right.
That's the main point of having our demo center.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And no, it's not a shameless plug. We love you guys. And I know some of you might, just to make it clear, I am not sponsored by Truck Bicycle Store West Phoenix, okay? I don't receive any monetary compensation from these guys. I've been a customer for 5 years, and so that's roughly 4 years before we started doing the videos. The reason I asked Brandon to do these videos with me is because I trust him, the shop, and everybody who works here. They've always treated me well from jump. I never felt pressured, and I've never gotten bad information. That's why I choose to come here, not because I'm getting paid to. So, I appreciate Brandon going shameless plug or anything. It's not a shameless plug. You'll always be treated well, and there's a great wealth of knowledge here and resource. So don't ever worry about that. And shit, I might as well start putting a link down there for locals who are looking to rent a bike, or maybe they've got some people coming in from back east to do some mountain biking here this fall and winter time, because we have good things.
That'd be great.
So check out for that link.
Yeah, there's every platform we have up there, from Slash to Super Caliber.
So that link will be down below as well. So, all right, guys, there you have it. Another bicycle showcase. We hope you've enjoyed this one. Top Fuel, check it out. Oh yeah, super, super nice. I'm still waiting for the Fuel. I think that's the one for me. Brandon and I have had the conversation many times. I think that's actually the bike for me. So, Brandon, I can't thank you enough again for having us. So, guys, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon. That way, whenever we post a new video, you will be one of the first ones to know. And by hitting like and subscribe, you're really helping out this video and the channel as well. We're so close to 100 subscribers. I can't stand it. Also, again, there'll be a link down below to Truck Bicycle Store West Phoenix, and it's Copper State
Bike and Hike.
Copper State Bike and Hike. I love it, down below. So if you're local, you have some friends coming into town, you want to rent some bikes, check them out as well. So, guys, on that note, I don't know what else to add other than be kind to yourself and others. Always be amazing stewards on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get out, Arizona.
Yeah. We'll see you on that next adventure. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Brandon, as always, thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
Dude, that was awesome.